Hey guys, this is EcksToo. Hello and welcome to another Star Wars Squadrons video. And today's exciting. It's technically the launch day today. A lot of people have been playing this game since last night, but we now have new Squadrons content on the channel instead of that one fleet battle gameplay clip that I captured earlier this year that I was kind of forced to show over and over again. So exciting days as a content creator and as a Star Wars Squadrons fan. Let me just target this TIE interceptor, and this is a very different type of video for EcksToo because instead of what we've been doing in the past, which is talking about squadrons while playing other games, we are actually doing some live fleet battle recording. Before this, I'm warming up for tonight's stream. We will be playing fleet battles for probably 4 or 5 hours with some of the other X-Crew members and maybe Star Wars Explained and Templin Institute and whoever else wants to play, really. So, the launch of Star Wars Squadrons has been both good and bad. The game itself, I'm in love with. I gave this game a glowing review. I mean, I knew I was going to like it because I played it back in June, I think, or July. But just playing it again now, all the maps are really well crafted. The gameplay is so solid. On a fundamental level, I like everything about the game. I wish there was a little bit more content just to help with the longevity. I wish they went with sort of a season pass model because I think it would be great for a competitive game like this, even if it just meant new cosmetics. But that's not what they were going for. This is a $40 game. Let's just hit that drift. Sort of like, you know, classic video games where you pay and you get everything. So from that perspective, Squadrons has been great. But the launch has not been without issue. And as of recording this and streaming this, if you look at Steam, the game's got a pretty poor rating. It's got about a 60% positive, which, you know, that's pretty bad for a video game, especially a Star Wars video game, where there's already that kind of existing fan base. The game has actually been reviewed pretty well among critics, and it's getting, you know, lots of hype based on gameplay, but right now it's being plagued by some pretty serious technical issues. Corey, who is another one of the EcksToo co-hosts, has run into one himself where basically he's getting this weird issue. I think it's issue 918 or error 918, where the game basically thinks that his Origin or his EA account is like that there's some disciplinary action or something, and that he's not allowed to access online features, yet he can for every other game. That seems to be related to Steam more than the game itself, because he repurchased it on Origin and he's playing it no problem. That's a pretty serious issue because it completely removes your ability to access online features altogether, which is, you know, a pretty big part of the game. The campaign is fun, but it's only 6 hours long. But that's not even the only issue that's been happening. That's one of the more egregious ones, but there have been a number of technical issues which do seem mostly related to hardware. So I talked to my contact at EA, and we'll talk about some of the issues. I'm not going to cover each and every one because I honestly don't know each and every one right now. Let's get that flare off. Ah, crap. And then go back and refuel or resupply. I talked to my contact at EA. He said that they are working on patches and solutions for every single issue right now, and that the vast majority of them are not something related to the game, but individual pieces of hardware. So one of the big issues that I haven't noticed, maybe due to my inexperience, is the dead zone on the HOTAS. HOTAS being hands-on throttle and stick. That's actually what I'm using right now, and apparently there's people who play with HOTASes a lot are having dead zone issues, which makes aiming really difficult and makes the game somewhat unsatisfying. I don't know if that exists for every HOTAS model, but it's certainly an issue for some. Another HOTAS related issue is the fact that the default key bindings for a lot of them just aren't good. Now, for me, that wasn't a huge issue because I just went into campaign. I spent maybe 15 minutes and rebound them. I kind of made a binding that I actually really love. And I think they should have done better to either have some sort of system in the game where you can import profiles. That way I could just go ahead and share. Let's wait till that missile's a little closer, then drop our flare. Because if they had some sort of system like that, I could just go in my game, share my tried and true control scheme with you guys, and then you could import that or whatever else. But because that's not in the game, at least to my knowledge, that's just not possible. Let's get behind the satellite, see if we can dodge this missile. Oof. Oh. Oh, nice. All right, we're going to try to do a final attack run on this Architens here. Drift to get underneath it, finish her off. But yeah, the default HOTAS controls aren't good. You can decide for yourself how big of an issue is, but I understand at least why it's annoying. I'm trying to think what other issues people have been having with HOTAS. People have been having trouble sometimes rebinding it, and I will say most of that is probably due to a control menu, which isn't super intuitive. Let me just go ahead and start. You have to actually click controls and then go into change controls, even though it looks like you can change them on the first menu, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, HOTAS support, not great. People have also been having issue with frame rate drops for their VR headsets. Personally, I haven't experienced any technical issues yet. I've been playing this with the HOTAS. I've been playing this on my Oculus Quest, and I played for 6 hours last night. I didn't have any frame drops, didn't have any issues like that. However, I just want to make it clear that that is not me attempting to say that these issues don't exist. I'm saying that I got very lucky, and I personally just haven't experienced them yet. Let's see if I can trap this dude. He's chasing me. Oh, there he is. Because if I had realized that these issues existed, that would have changed my my review. Like, if I wasn't able to get into the game, even if I was later, you know, that at the very least would have been worth mentioning in a review. But there were no major issues when we played the game, or when I played the game. I think some people might have had issues relating to matchmaking, but nothing serious. And speaking of matchmaking, right now this game is 5v3, or sorry, 4v3. It's uneven. And that's one of the most frustrating things about this game. And I don't know whether I can blame the devs for that, whether you've got to blame people for quitting. First of all, if you're quitting in a competitive game, like, you're just ruining the experience for everybody. It's frustrating. It's lazy. Like, take the time and finish the game. Oh, crap. Wow. That TIE bomber just annihilated me. Take the time and finish the game. You're just ruining everyone else's experience. But devs also need to... Oh, I almost froze there. Devs also need to come up with solutions to mitigate the negative player experience when somebody leaves. Like, right now we're just steamrolling this team because we've got a player advantage, which is really serious. And so not only is this game kind of a wash from a competitive standpoint, but we also won't be getting any points if we win. It won't affect our ranking, so it's basically an unranked game. And there's a lot of quitting for various reasons, which we can talk about later. There's currently no option to fill. I do think if someone quits in the pre-round, it will at least try to get somebody else in there, but I've seen plenty of times where that doesn't happen. Like, it'll be 10 people, and then one will quit, and then you'll kind of never get that 10th player back, which really sucks, because, you know, you're looking forward to the game, and then... Damn, that guy just ate the wall. You're looking forward to the game, and then it just doesn't happen, which really sucks. There are a few things I think that EA could do to improve this situation. One thing is the fact that if the lobby is not full, if there's 9 out of 10 people, it seems like there's no countdown for the game to start and you've got to wait for everyone to ready up. But in my experience, that's not actually the case. I'm pretty sure the timer still exists. It's just invisible. So, like, there's still, you know, the minute and 30 waiting time or whatever else. I'm going to see if I can hide behind this asteroid and heal up. Where'd he go? Yeah, there's still the minute 30 waiting time, but it's hidden, or it's a different time or something. I'm not sure if that system's working as intended, but it's a little frustrating because, you know, if someone goes AFK, the thought they're gonna have to wait for them to come back to actually start your game is just baffling. So, however that currently works, it's not good. It needs to be fixed. Nice, we killed that guy. Alright, shields are down. Let's take a run on there. My favorite thing to destroy is the the power system. But I'm not doing anything there. So yeah, there needs to more consistently be 5v5 games. Like, I've played probably 14 or 15 games and I still haven't got my ranking placement yet. And I think that's just because so many people have quit. And yeah, that's just not fun. Let's switch to a bomber. The other major... Oh, actually, no. They just pushed us back. The other major issue I've seen relates to refresh rate on monitors. Apparently, I'm running... My monitor only has a 72 hertz refresh rate. And I haven't seen any FPS issues or anything like that. The game actually runs completely beautifully for me. I'm probably getting, 100, 150 FPS on, that's just my guess. I don't have a counter on a 2070 Super with ultra graphics, and usually fully recording and streaming. However, there's definitely reports of people, even with 3080s, like pretty much one of the most expensive graphic cards you can get now, having trouble with the game, which is just really frustrating because this isn't a super... I like the look of this game, but it's not the most visually demanding game. There's not that many players on the map at any given time, so performance should not be an issue with high spec cards, certainly. And I guess it's just disappointing for me that right now all of these various technical issues are taking away from how good this game actually is, because pretty much everyone that I've seen who's played the game, of course there are haters, so not everyone, but a lot of the people I see who are actually playing the game are having a phenomenal time with it. And a lot of the kind of disappointment comes from people who just can't get in, which is completely understandable. You shouldn't have to buy a second version of the game to get it running, especially on launch day. Like, oh geez, that guy slowed down. Especially on launch day like Corey did. Like, that sucks, and that's expensive, and most people just won't do that. They'll just put the game down and never get it. Another issue that people were having is one of the very first checkpoints is bugged. You've got to kill a Star Destroyer, and if you die at the wrong time, the Star Destroyer is just unkillable. Its health gets stuck at 1%, which is, not great, because you're basically stuck. And this is before you can even access multiplayer too, because you've got to get through at least part of the prologue. I'm not sure how much. But yeah, there's a bevy of issues. None of them are good. And they've got to be fixed, because the way things are right now, people are just going to be complaining, rightfully so. The game is going to get continually bad reviews on Steam when it deserves good reviews. It's one of the most player-friendly games we've gotten in a long time. And I guess I just kind of wonder, like, to what extent COVID, perhaps, and just kind of the weird working conditions associated with this year have kind of screwed things up. So, I don't know. I wonder if the game needed a delay. If not, I wonder, like, how long these issues are going to take to fix. Farming AI, by the way, guys, is a good idea. Also a good idea is not dying. Either way, none of this affects my plans for the game. I'm going to keep streaming it and keep playing it because I'm having a great time. We streamed for about 7 hours last night, and the only reason I stopped is because my computer started having some issues. That was a crazy stream too. We peaked at 3.7 thousand viewers, and like pretty frequently we'll have like a good stream for us usually is like 600 to 700 viewers. I think it's our first gameplay stream that we've had actually over 1,000. We've had a few kind of, like, when we've covered the launch event for this game, we had over 1,000 and stuff like that, but just really great numbers. There is a lot of hype over the stream. I saw today that it seems like today's the sponsored day for Twitch streamers, because I'm seeing lots of sponsored Squadron streams, and they're all doing very well. Even before that started, I think yesterday the game had 40 or 50,000 people watching it, which for a game of this kind of niche status, especially last night where it was kind of almost like a bit of a soft release for a lot of people, pretty good. I don't think I've got a whole lot else to say about all of this, though. Just trying to think of some videos that you guys want to see in the future. So if there's anything, given Squadron's release that you're curious about or that you'd like to see, let me know. I'm planning to do a video on like 5 tips that will immediately make you better. I want to do a video on how the energy shunting feature of the TIE works, because it's probably It's the one thing that makes the ties maybe better than New Republic ships. The emergency... Oh, Jesus. Okay. Just got bodied by that raider. Gotta slow down. The emergency power management feature is really good. And that's one that I think if you don't have a HOTAS especially, because I think it is kind of hidden behind some menus or whatever else, on a standard Xbox controller or PlayStation controller, that you might not notice, but it's definitely worth checking out. So that's going to be a future video. And yeah, I'd love to do maybe some like top 5 plays stuff or like some funny moment stuff, because those videos are really fun to make and they're good for the community and they seem to do pretty well for other people that do them. But yeah, all your guys' feedback down below. Let me know what you guys think of the occasional kind of... Is he out of range? Let me know what you guys think of the occasional rambling video in this format, just with some gameplay. Typically, I will say I won't record myself speaking and playing at the same time. I'm a little distracted, obviously, because this is a game that requires a lot of concentration, but it's not that much different from streaming. But if this is something you're interested in, I can do that as well. But usually I like to record gameplay beforehand. That way, you know, you're also guaranteeing you're getting some good footage. I mean, I'm doing pretty well this game, but there's no guarantee of that before I started recording. With that, though, guys, I'm going to end that for today. Let me know all of your thoughts on Squadrons, your experience with the launch, and more down in the comments, almost a description. I will say, too, although there's a pretty vocal contingent of people affected by Squadrons launch issues, I'm hoping that it's still the minority of people and that most of you guys are enjoying the game. Until next time, though, guys, have a good one, be safe, and may the Force be with you.